Well, that one feels pretty good. Fantastic crowd that helped, that mattered. Tough defensively again. I thought our start was really important. We did that the other night too. But I knew they were going to score. I knew they would counterpunch. So, having the lead that we had right out of the gate really mattered, because they cut it to 2 multiple times there late. And so I think the start was really good just to set the tone for us, steady us. So I thought that was important. Defensively, we've been very good. I don't know how many games in a row, but I know we've held North Alabama can really score something like 63, 55, 57 today. Bree Stevens, I'm not sure you can guard a player that has 19 better than Bree did on Antoinette Walker. We knew she was going to shoot a lot. You have to make them as tough as you can. She's going to make the tough ones sometimes, and you just have to go back to work and back to work and back to work. So I could kind of go down the list of little things that are, really important in how you put together a win like that. But very proud of our team for in college basketball, you got to give yourself a chance to win the game that we just put ourselves in. And so couldn't be more happy for them to figure that out, because it is very hard to do. It is really hard to do. A whole bunch of good teams are not playing in it, in our league and leagues across the country. So to find a way, it was really important to get to play at home. But I also think that we were ready to kind of take off and make some things happen down the stretch. So big time win for us and where we're at. And, we're going to take an off day tomorrow. We've been going for a while. We're going to breathe. We got to get organized for the next one anyway. We got to travel. We're ready for that. But, there's just a lot that we got to come up with a better plan to face a fantastic team. They're very, very good. And so that's kind of next.
Questions? You said it after the last time you played them, Saturday night, that's the last Eastern Kentucky team that walked in here is not the same one that was going to come in tonight. How different did they look, and how different did they look from what you saw on film in the last few days?
Yeah, they've been playing really good. They went to Lipscomb and won by 30. So, I don't think anybody in our locker room, I think we all understood. The last time they were here, they didn't have Ivy Turner, And then our team in that game, they did exactly what you do when something like that goes on, which is try to put it on them fast, And it was 17-0, and that was that game. The first quarter and the way we started kind of completely eliminated that. But I don't think there was any thoughts of, we understood the team that we were playing, And I still think we started really fast. Defensively in the first quarter, it was tough down there. It was tough. And so they're sharp. They know what they're getting into. I thought we were pretty good game plan wise. And so got off to a good start again and then held on.
Coach, you guys live wire to wire, but it seems like every time you would look up, that team just kept hanging around. And every time you needed a big bucket, there was Kinley Fisher. Just talk about Kinley's play.
Yeah, they have 22 or 21 wins for a reason. They've beaten a lot of people. So I knew they would hang around, And then she's been great all year. She's the 6th woman of the year, 6th player of the year for a reason. We've counted on her to do that. And she was excellent when we needed her. And the specialness of this team is 3 days ago, Jade was really good. I thought Leah was really good early in this one. You just Banks was tremendous in the last game at the end. So that's the hard thing about guarding us is, I let them play a lot because I'm not sure who's getting ready to score. So why dial up something if just let them play, let them move the ball. They got a bunch of them out there that can get it, so let them go.
Kinley, talk about what your role was tonight.
Every night I kind of have the role of coming in and trying to change the game whatever way I can. And they did a good job on, especially pressuring us full court. And so my job was initially to relieve 3, so I kind of played more of the just trying to get everyone else to score, trying to push the ball. I don't my goal is to go in and not force any shots that I shouldn't be taking, and quality over quantity is what I like to say. But I think I wanted to go in and just like take the right shot in the right moment and not try to like be a hero. And luckily, like he set up a play for me to get me a bucket, and so that kind of got me rolling. So I mean, there's just like little things that like I'm trying to let the game come to me more and trying to just be like just a better teammate. So my only goal today was just to win. So whatever way I came in, it was just to push my team to be the best team they could be today.
How have you kind of, I don't know, grown in that role of, you know, one game or even 1.5? It's kind of Jade's turn, and Rachel has hers, and Leah has hers, and eventually it's going to come back around to you. How have you kind of worked with that and come to this point to have that big of a second half?
It's, I mean, those 3 players you just named are just wonderful players, and they're wonderful people. And so anytime that I see success with them, I'm so supportive and like give them the ball. I mean, they're the ones that are on. And so it makes it easier for me when I'm on because you got to guard them still. So it's easier for me to drive. It's easier for me to find them. So, I mean, you just have to trust that like they're going to hit their shots and they trust me to hit mine. And we're very vocal on that, especially like us 4. We try to just push each other to all get better every day in practice and on the floor. And so at the end of the day, we're trying to win ball games, and it's not really about me. It's more about what win we can get on what night, and today was an important win for us.
Massive.
At one point, Coach, they went on a 14-0 run, and you changed personnel. Just kind of talk about what personnel changes.
I did not know that.
Me neither.
14-0 run.
Yeah. We must have been up by a lot. Were we up by a lot? Okay.
Biggest lead.
You know, I don't really remember that. There must have been some timeouts in the middle of it. Okay. Obviously, it went from whatever to 2.
Right. And then going from 2 to like 10, 12.
Yeah. We typically cycle people in. I did look up at the end of the 3rd quarter and went, I haven't had 3 out yet. I haven't had Jade out yet. You know, and that's kind of on me. You know, to get them little quick blows. We have the depth to do it. But so I don't. I mean, sometimes I feel like most of the time it's just she needs one. So rotate them in, and then there was a little bit of matchup games if you watched both of us. I mean, you know, anytime we subbed Bree out, 13 was back in. If 13 was out, we tried to get Bree out, and then we'd sub her out, she'd go right back in, you know. And then the post play was kind of that same way. You know, they were matching 32 on Banks. We were trying to get Banks a blow when she was out. Liz would go in. So I don't know if there's any genius in that. I mean, we just needed to play better. If we gave a 14 in a row, you know, we got to get a basket at some point. So
I mean, we saw kind of both sides of free throw shooting in that game. I mean, obviously it's a completely different game if they shoot 85% like you guys did. I mean, how do you kind of factor that in?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people talk about free throw shooting. Free throw shooting comes down to is the right one shooting free throws.
Yeah.
You know, if she's shooting free throws, we're going to shoot 85%. You know, and so you kind of look at who was shooting for us. They're all pretty good free throw shooters, and so sometimes you can't control that because you want to play aggressive. But it doesn't, I mean, I'm not sure about them. I know about us and why we shot 85%, and that's because we had the right ones there, you know. And the good thing about us is I've coached teams before where it's like we've got to get the ball to her or her, you know, and they can most of them all can make free throws at a pretty high clip. They handle the ball well at multiple positions. That's really important too. Because, you know, they did a good job on their press in the first half. I walked in the locker room at halftime. I said, what are we doing? What are we having the most trouble with? And everybody said the press. And we were in agreement in our little coaches huddle in the hallway walking in there, you know. And so, but we did a much better job of that. We cut harder. We would double cut to get open. And then we played a little slower after the catch. But I thought once we got that little thing shored up, I thought we were better. And then it was just kind of basketball with good players, and they're going to make some, you're going to make some, and hopefully you don't have long droughts like that. But, you know, I don't even remember your question. I'm really happy we won, though. I'll tell you that.
How does when 100 sound?
I heard that. Yeah. Feels like it should have happened a long time ago, but
No, I didn't hear that.
yeah,
Congrats.
100 wins. Thanks. That's quite a win to get on your 100th. You know, I've never coached in the conference championship game, and so for this group to, you know, like I said, we talked about that from really the first day I got here, and I heard that from somebody else. You know, in a way, speak it into existence. You know, what are we trying to do? And you know, I thought we could do it because I thought we had recruited pretty well. But I don't think ESPN probabilities had us doing it. So, you know, they've had a good year. They've performed in important moments, especially here lately. And, you know, we're headed to Florida. We got 40 minutes. We got to be tough. We got to be really together. You know, they're going to put us in difficult positions. That's part of basketball. You know, how much can you level out the highs and lows? And we have to do that better than we did the last time we were down there. So we've got to start to get our heads wrapped around that and get ready to give it all we got.
Kinley, kind of piggybacking off what Coach was just saying, how's it feel to be in the ASUN championship game?
For me, it's
A year
pretty
later.
it's pretty crazy after the year I had last year, and then him coming in, he had a vision, and he came in and he came rolling because we just had recruit after recruit trying to get people to come here and rebuild this team and this program, and so just the complete 180 for me has been pretty special because if you would have told me last year that I would have been in this position, I don't think I would have believed you, and so I mean, it's all kudos to and am I right and the players that he brought in, and because I think we're a pretty special team, and then everyone on this team has a good role, and so being with a team that you like love as well and getting there with them is pretty amazing.
That's an important, you know, and I kind of forget that part of the story. That was one of the things I talked about. Like, we had 3 people in the locker room. It's like, if you guys don't work at recruiting, we won't get them, you know. And they worked hard. They're great people, and we added really good people, you know. So, but they worked just as hard as I did on, you know, all those weekends to get the ones we wanted, and we didn't miss on many. Did we miss on any?
I personally didn't because I
I
was
don't think
100%.
we did.
I
I don't think we did.
I don't think we
we missed on one, you know. But that's a credit to the ones that are, I mean, in recruiting, I got my nice little presentations in there, but then they spend a whole lot of time with them, and they show them what it's like to go to school at UCA, and they're more important than me a lot of times. You know, if they don't knock it out of the park, we don't get them. And you can see that they've come together well, and you know they play well together, and we got at least one more game, you know, which is pretty awesome.
I know we were talking Saturday about how great that crowd was, and that's the biggest crowd of the season. You had in 700 more people. I mean, how cool was that experience to kind of end the season here on?
You go.
Oh, give it to me.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll follow up.
I definitely think that I hate to say that we deserved it, but we've been working all year to win and to get a crowd, and so to get this game, another home game after we just had the one on Saturday where we played pretty well, I think it's just a kudos to our team and how we're fun to watch. I don't think we're boring, but that's just my opinion. I mean, other people might think we're boring, but I think we're pretty fun to watch, and so it was fun having the energy there, and he would call a play and you couldn't even hear it. And I was like, wow, this is great. You know, this is fun. And so it definitely made the atmosphere way more fun. And just a kudos to us, even when we didn't have that many, this team brings energy every night. Our bench is so amazing. Our coaches on the bench are amazing. So it's just, it's a blessing. That's all I can say. To you.
Yeah, I think that you kind of see that across the country right now. A lot more people are watching women's basketball in the stands and on TV. And there's no way that you watched us if you never came. There's no way you walked out of there tonight and went, well, that wasn't any fun. You know, they fly around, they can play on offense. I mean, Leah Mafua, she has made some amazing one-on-one moves in the last 2 games. Just unbelievable. You know, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. I told him that the other day, that it was fun to just coach and watch him. Those rebounds are being highly contested. It is physical. Every one of them is a blessing. It's
Yeah.
like, man, that's a blessing to get that one,
Yeah.
There, and so it was a great crowd, and they definitely helped, and hopefully we added some people that will continue to come back and watch this group again.
You said something to one of the officials about the loud crowd.
Well, she was telling me I needed to be quieter, and I was like, well, if the players can't hear me, so I assume you can't either. Sorry, I jumped your question. That was it.
I
Yeah.
want you to relay that to them, because I heard it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm trying to figure out, are they not listening or can they not hear? There's two different things there. Which one is it?
We had that problem.
Yeah, sometimes. It was hard to hear at times. We have some hand signals. We actually got those right tonight. We got some important baskets out of execution. The layup that she got, that was a little bit of a wrinkle that we executed perfectly. Banks made a great pass. All year we've got ourselves some layups when we needed them. That was a big layup to stick in there. And then I don't know if it got her going, but she made a couple more after that.
I would say so, but
It is what it is,
That's just
but-
my opinion.
I was gonna ask you about the officials, but now I'm not gonna.
They were great.
I'm not gonna.
They were awesome. No, I really, I mean that. There's sure you play the game, and I've learned over the years, I'm so much more calm about that stuff. I mean, number one, it doesn't matter. Number two, it all evens out. They did a great job of talking to me and telling me I was crazy when I probably was, and they've all reffed us multiple times, so we know each other pretty well by this time of the year. But I mean, Coach Todd's going to want some calls, and I'm going to want some calls, and the fans are going to want some calls, and they manage that well. That's a difficult job, and so I don't agree with them all the time, but I think all year it's been pretty good. Pretty good.